In today's video, I will be comparing some fragrances. Some of these are new releases, some of these are flankers. If you're interested in hearing my thoughts, then just keep watching. Before we get into this video, I do want to quickly introduce myself for those of you who may be new here. My name is Aisha from simplyaisha.com. Here on YouTube, I talk about fragrance, beauty, luxury, and lifestyle. If those are things you're interested in, please consider subscribing. And if you are a returning subscriber, hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So as I said, in today's video, we'll be comparing some fragrances. This video is a part of my series, This, That, or Both. In these videos, I compare a pair of fragrances and let you guys know all about each fragrance. And then at the end, I let you know which one you may need or if you need both of them. So let's go ahead and get into this video. So the first two fragrances I'll be comparing is Zergoff Lira versus Acro Bake. The reason that I decided to compare these two fragrances is because Acro Bake is a newer release. Lira has been out for a while. However, when Acro Bake released, looking at the notes, I immediately thought about Lira. And a lot of you have been asking me about this one, so I definitely wanted to do this comparison for you all. So first up, let's compare the packaging. This is Zergoff Lira. It's part of the Cosmopolitan line, so it comes in this gold bottle. Now I have the 30 ml size. However, the larger size comes with some artwork on the front, and it also comes with a tassel. But other than that, it looks the same. And then you have a nice gold sturdy top. Acro Bake comes in a more minimalistic bottle. I do like the shape of this bottle, but it's really nothing like amazing. But I like the shape, I like the font. It's very minimalistic and simple. So Zergoff Lira is a beautiful, what smells like to me, a lemon caramel cookie fragrance. Now lemon is not actually a note in this fragrance, but since I've had this fragrance, that's what it smells like to me. I'm not the only person that thinks that they smell lemon in here. So, you know, even no matter what the notes say, to me, what I get is a buttery lemon caramel cookie. It smells absolutely delicious. Now for me with Lira, it pretty much stays the same scent throughout the life of the fragrance. It's pretty linear in my opinion, not a bad thing, but it doesn't change too much. For me, it always smells pretty much the same. I will say the deep dry down, I lose a little bit of the citrus and just get more of that cookie-ish smell, but overall, it's pretty much the same throughout the life of the wearer. Acro Bake, again, is another lemon gourmand fragrance. However, to me, this one smells more like a very tart, sharp lemon at first. So think of like a lemon bar, how you get that tart, like it's sweet, but it's mostly like tart, like lemon rind type sweetness. Like a sharp lemon rind mixed with some sort of pastry. Now I will say this one starts out pretty sharp, like the lemon is pretty potent. So you have to be a fan of lemon to like this one. But the lemon is pretty potent at first. The longer that I wear this fragrance, it does become more like a baked goods type smell. And the lemon is still kind of there, but in the deep dry down of this fragrance, I will say that the lemon kind of backs off a little bit and it becomes more just like a sweet vanilla pastry type smell with some lemon in it, but the lemon is not as striking as it is when you first spray this fragrance. So when it comes to projection and longevity, for Lira, I get maybe about 6 hours of wear out of this fragrance. I will say it projects decently. Maybe somebody standing about 3 or 4 feet away from me can smell me wearing this, and I would say that projection lasts for probably about 3 hours or so, and then this kind of turns into more of a skin scent. But it does last, and it's not the type of, it doesn't turn into the type of skin scent where I really have to sniff, but it's one of those ones that I will catch little whiffs of, but it just sits closer to the skin. So not necessarily a skin scent at that point, but more so just close to the skin. For Acro Bake, I actually find the performance to be pretty similar. I think this lasts on me maybe about 6 or 7 hours. I will say that this one projects a lot more at first. So I would say it probably projects anywhere from like 3 to 4 feet as well, but it projects for longer. So I would say I get pretty good projection on this for probably about 4 to 5 hours, and then it becomes like closer to a skin scent after that, around that 5 hour mark. So when it comes to price, to make things simple, I'll be comparing the 100 ml size of both of these fragrances. I don't have the 100 ml in either one of these, but at least you can compare apples to apples if I do it that way. So for a 100 ml bottle of Lira, it retails for $305. For a 100 ml bottle of Bake, it retails for $185. So do you need this, that, or both? So I would say I'm actually happy to have both, but I don't necessarily think you need both. I do think they are quite similar. I think that if you love lemon a lot, then you should go for Bake. I think that if you're not into sharp lemons, but you still like lemon gourmand scents, then you should go for Lira. If I was forced to choose between the two, I would say Lira, just because I feel like it does feel a little bit more round. It's probably a little bit easier to wear for most people. And to me, I don't know, they both smell really good, but to me, Lira smells just a tad bit more luxe. However, I would recommend both. I do love both, but if I had to pick one, I would just go for Lira. So this next pair of fragrances is one that I am extremely excited to share with you all because it features one of my favorite fragrances, like top 10 fragrance in my entire collection. So the comparison we'll be talking about is Nishane Ani versus Nishane Ani X. So I decided to compare these two fragrances because Nishane Ani X is a new release. It's only been out a few months and it just became available in the United States, to my knowledge, like within the last couple weeks. So of course I had to get it because Ani is like a top 10 fragrance for me. It's a fragrance that I can't see myself without. So definitely wanted to check out Ani X. So let's talk about packaging. Of course, they are from the same company, so their packages are pretty similar. This is the 50 ml bottle of Nishane Ani, the original one. And then Ani X is very similar packaging, but the plate on the front is gold. It has an X there. I guess it's a slight bit more luxe, but to me, they're pretty much the same shaped bottle, except I have this one in the 100 ml bottle because where I ordered it from, they didn't have the 50 ml, but I do believe this is available in a 50 ml too. But yeah, the bottles are the same, just difference in the labels on the front. Also, just to mention, the label on Ani kind of feels leatherish in a way, whereas the label on Ani X is more of a metal plate. So Nishane Ani is a beautiful, thick, rich, dense, citrus green vanilla. So when I smell this fragrance, I get a burst of like a mixture of lemon and lime. That's what it smells like to me. I get a little bit of greenness and then I get this beautiful thick sweet vanilla, but it's not necessarily gourmand vanilla, but it is quite thick and sweet. And then there's also this beautiful ginger that really gives this fragrance some zest. I'll say that for me, Ani is pretty linear. I feel like it smells the same in the deep dry down as it does at the first spray. Now, when it comes to Ani X, of course, this is a flanker, so they smell quite similar. To me, this one, the citrus notes are a little bit toned down. So if you thought that the citrus notes in Ani were too sharp, this one, they are dulled down a little bit. They're still there, but it's just a little bit less. I also find that this one smells a little bit spicier. Like, of course, you still get that ginger, you still get that beautiful thick Ani vanilla that is like none other. But there's some other kind of like spice that to me kind of just covers this fragrance, kind of mutes it, not in a bad way, but to me it kind of just softens this fragrance almost. It doesn't soften it as in make it a soft fragrance. It softens it as in it's not so like bright. Hopefully that makes sense. Now, when it comes to projection and longevity, these are the same for me. So both of these last forever on my skin. I don't even know how long they last. These are the types of fragrances that I probably get at least 10 hours from. They are very projecting on my skin. So people probably about 6 feet away can smell both of them. Now, I will say that Ani X is a little bit softer in projection compared to original Ani, but they're really neck and neck. I think it's just that Ani X just feels a little bit more smoother, more toned down. So to me, maybe I smell it less. But overall, the performance is still the same. Excellent on both of these. Longevity, excellent on both of these. So when it comes to price, we're going to talk about the 50 ml sizes of these. So for the original Nishane Ani, it retails for $250. And for the 50 ml of Nishane Ani X, it retails for $270. Now, Ani X is a newer release, so you may not be able to find any type of discount on this. However, if you're comfortable shopping like gray market sites, you can definitely find this at a steep discount. So keep that in mind, but we're just going to be talking about retail prices just to make it simple. But yeah, if you're into gray market, you can definitely find this one cheaper. All right, so do you need this, that, or both? I will say that for me, I need both of them, okay? B-O-A-F, both. I need both of them because I am a huge Ani lover. This is a scent that I cannot get enough of. Now, for the average person, I would say that if you're a huge Ani lover, get both, okay? You're not gonna regret it. But if you just like Ani or you love Ani, but it's not really something that you would miss if it were gone, then I would say, which one? Oh gosh, it's so hard. I would say go for the original again. I love both of them, and the way I'm probably gonna use them is, to me, the original Ani is brighter, so I'll probably use this one more so in the daytime and then use Ani X at night, but both of them would work. Both of them I love. Some people may feel like these are redundant because they are quite similar, but for me, because I love them, I can pick out the differences and I am perfectly good with having both of these, okay? So this will be daytime for me, this will be evening for me. Both are loves. The next two fragrances I'm gonna compare are Nishane 100 Silent Ways and Nishane 100 Silent Ways X. So I decided to compare these two because obviously it's the flanker, so they need to be compared. So packaging, of course, they are the same, just like Ani, it's just the same differences. So there you are up close to those, but they're pretty much the same. So Nishane 100 Silent Ways is one of my go-to feminine flirty scents. This is a beautiful fruity floral with some vanilla. So the fruits that are in here, I believe peach is probably the main fruit. At least that's what it smells like to me that I'm picking up, but it's done in a very like elegant way. Peach doesn't always work for me, but in this fragrance, it smells very elegant and very fun and flirty. And then there's some florals in here, I believe white florals, but again, they are not screechy. They're just a beautiful kind of sweet floral. And then this beautiful vanilla. The vanilla that's in here is not gourmand, but it is sweet and it's kind of more of a sparkling quality to it. It doesn't feel extremely dense like the vanilla in Nishane Ani. Now, when it comes to 100 Silent Ways X, I will say, when I got this, I was surprised at how it smells because the first thing that I really smell from this is this deep kind of leatheriness to it. And when I say leatheriness, I'm not even sure if it's leather. It could be saffron, it could be suede. Sometimes saffron can smell leathery to me, just depending on the fragrance and how it's blended. So I don't know. I actually didn't even look up the notes on this fragrance. I just added to cart and checked out. But yeah, so that's what I get at first. But then you also have that 100 Silent Ways DNA. So you still get that sweet, fruity floral, but it's covered by this soft, like leathery, woody smell. So I would say that comparing the two fragrances, this one is definitely less sweet, but the sweetness is still there. It's just toned down. I honestly think this one is probably more unisex than 100 Silent Ways, even though I know some men that wear 100 Silent Ways. Whenever I smell 100 Silent Ways, I feel like this original, I feel like it smells extremely feminine to me. This one definitely smells unisex, but not leaning masculine. Perfectly unisex in my opinion. Comparing the newer version with the older version, I would say this one is more of a kind of sexy take, like a darker, sexier take on the original 100 Silent Ways, or you can think of it as the fall winter take on the original 100 Silent Ways. When it comes to projection and longevity, again, I feel like they are the same. So for 100 Silent Ways, for me, I feel like this lasts probably about 7 or 8 hours on my skin. It is one that I feel is on the lighter side. However, it is one that I always get compliments on it. So I think I go a novice to it. So it's really hard for me to judge, but I've gotten compliments on this fragrance at least like 5 or 6 hours into wear, and that's every single time I wear it. 100 Silent Ways X, I've only worn it full body one time, and then the rest has just been like testing on my arm. So I really don't know if I'm going to get a ton of compliments on this. I have not received any yet, but like I said, I've only worn it full body one time and I really wasn't around anybody. But to me, when I wear them, I get the same kind of feeling, except the X one, because it has that kind of darker leathery tone in it, I feel like I can smell it more on myself the entire time I wear it, whereas I go nose blind to the original 100 Silent Ways. So for pricing, it is the same as Ani. So the 50 ml bottle of 100 Silent Ways retails for $250. The 50 ml bottle of the X version retails for $270. So do you need this, that, or both? I will say that for this one, you need both, okay? You need both. I feel like these are different enough to have both. Honestly, when I smelled X, I just thought, wow, this is a really nice take on 100 Silent Ways because it's different enough to justify having both. I definitely see a place for both in my collection. Again, this could be more like the daytime, nighttime version, hot weather, cold weather version. I don't know, it really just depends on the mood, but they did a wonderful job of keeping that beautiful 100 Silent Ways DNA and then just making it something else, like making it sexier, making it more edgy. Love both of them. I think you need both. I wouldn't pick one over the other. I think you need both. The next fragrances that I have to compare are Kilian Princess versus Kilian Princess Eau Fraiche. So again, another flanker. This Kilian Princess Eau Fraiche just came out within the last couple of months, whereas Kilian Princess, although it's in a different bottle now, this fragrance has been around for years. I have had it in my collection for years. So we're gonna start with the packaging. So you can see I have my Kilian Princess bottle looking like this bulb on top. I will say now the bottles are changed and it looks a lot more similar to this. So basically the new Kilian Princess bottle looks just like this, except it's black and the writing is the same there. So, and it's not frosted. So yeah, I have the old bottle, new bottle. I will say for packaging, I do prefer the newer packaging and I love this one, this frosted bottle. Like it just does something to me. I love the way this looks. So Kilian Princess is a beautiful, fluffy marshmallow scent that has a green tea note in it that gives it a bit of an herbal nature, a bit of a freshness to it. And then it also has a ginger note, which to me gives it just a little bit of zest. I feel like if you don't like ginger, you still may like this fragrance because the ginger isn't too much. It's not overpowering. I am a ginger lover, but I will say that if you don't like ginger or you're not a lover of ginger, you still may want to get your nose on this because the ginger doesn't do too much. It really just keeps it fresh, gives it a little bit of zest, makes this a unique, fresher smelling marshmallow type scent. On the other hand, Princess Eau Fraiche is more of a bright, citrusy, little bit of marshmallow type fragrance. So I would say when I smelled this, it was actually more bright and fresh than I thought it would be. So to me, it opens up with like a burst of citrus and then you get this beautiful marshmallow, you get some musk, and I overall feel like a sort of milky tone from this fragrance or a creamy tone. It doesn't smell lactonic to me. It's just the texture of it feels very milky or creamy. And the marshmallow is there, but it's done in this really fresh way. So this is pretty much the summer take on Kilian Princess. So when it comes to projection and longevity for Princess, I feel like this fragrance performs pretty decently. I've heard some people say that this is extremely soft on them, but for me, I don't find that the case. I find this to have moderate projection. People at least like 3 to 4 feet away from you will smell it on you. This lasts on my skin at least 7 hours, and it probably turns into a skin scent around the 4 to 5 hour mark. Now, when it comes to Princess Eau Fraiche, obviously this is a lighter version. So I will say projection and longevity, not great. Okay, so longevity is good. I actually sprayed this on this morning and now I've been wearing it at least 7 hours and it's still there, but it is pretty light. I will say that when I first spray this, because of those bright citruses, I can smell it a little bit more, but after about the 2 hour mark, this really turns into more of a skin scent, more of an intimate scent. It's actually quite calming and I love it for bedtime because it's just beautifully done. But I will say I wish the projection was more. Now, granted, this is the summer. It is very hot. So for some of y'all, that type of projection and longevity will not be a problem. For me, I do wish that it projected more. And I do want to add this in here because I tried this today just to see how it would go. On one arm, I sprayed this and then I spray Princess on top of it. So this is Eccentric Molecules Eccentric 01, and I picked this up because Jessica Trim is always talking about Molecule 01 and how she loves it for her fragrances. Well, I ordered the wrong one. I meant to order the one she was talking about, but I ordered the wrong one. But I decided to just try it anyway. And I will say that when I sprayed these together, it definitely gave a little bit of a boost to Eau Fraiche without changing the scent, because I love the scent, but I would want to smell it a little bit more. Like you see how much I've used on this fragrance? I've been overspraying it. Like, this is a lot for me. So I've used a lot on this fragrance because I have been overspraying it. I've been spraying my clothes. It's just a softer scent. It's beautiful, but it is a soft scent. So I like the fact that I can now combine these, and I think this is going to be the combination that works for me because it does not change the scent of this fragrance at all. So when it comes to price, of course, this is the old bottle, which was 100 mls. Now this fragrance comes in a 50 ml refillable bottle that retails for $130. The Eau Fraiche version is also a 50 ml refillable bottle that retails for $120. So do you need this, that, or both? So I will say, for me, I am happy to have both. However, if I were going to recommend this to you, I would say go for OG Princess because it's absolutely beautiful, and I don't feel like it's too heavy for summer. So I feel like Princess is a fragrance that I can wear year round. I don't find it to be too sweet out in the heat, but if you are sensitive to sweet fragrances, this may not work for you in the hottest of days. But for me, it's good. You know, I am happy to have the Eau Fraiche version in my collection because I do really love the way it smells. But I would say that if I ran through this bottle, I'm not sure I would repurchase it. Whereas if I ran through this bottle, immediate repurchase. The last set of fragrances that we're going to compare are Atelier Cologne's Pacific Lime versus Simone Andreoli Malibu Party in the Bay. So I decided to compare these two fragrances because I recently got Malibu Party in the Bay, and I absolutely love it. And it reminded me of another old love of mine, which is Pacific Lime. So I think I got Pacific Lime a few years ago, probably about 3 years ago. And when I got it, y'all, I was hooked. Y'all see how much I've used, right? So I've used it a lot. However, as we buy more and more fragrances, we kind of, you know, we have more and more to use, and we kind of forget about our older fragrances sometimes. I still wear this, but I don't wear it as much as I used to when I first got it. So Pacific Lime smells like a tropical lime drink to me. It gives me margarita vibes or caipirinha vibes. So I get this beautiful lime, but the lime is not too sharp. It's a little bit of a sweet lime, and then you get some coconut. I feel like there could be like a rum note in here, like a white rum. I'm not sure if it is, but it definitely smells like tropical drink to me. This is beautiful. It also kind of has this almost like a salty vibe, like a aquatic type vibe. This is definitely more of a watery scent, not watered down, but like a very refreshing, juicy type scent. Malibu Party in the Bay opens up with a bright, zesty lime. The lime is liming in this. You have to be a fan of lime to like this note. The lime is quite sharp. Not sharp as in like it smells like you sprayed on cleaner or something like that, but the lime is definitely very, very present, and it's very bright, it's very zesty, it's not a sweet fragrance. Now, as this fragrance dries down, the lime stays the entire time, and I love that for me. You do also have some like coconut in this fragrance, and there's a little bit of sweetness, kind of like sugarcane or something like that type of sweetness. But overall, to me, the lime is the most dominant note, and those other notes are kind of just players on the team, whereas the lime is the star of the show. So when it comes to projection and longevity, Pacific Lime, I probably get about 5 to maybe 6 hours of wear out of this fragrance. It projects pretty moderately at first and turns into like a closer scent or skin scent probably around the 3 to 4 hour mark. Malibu Party in the Bay, I feel like it has really good projection for this type of scent. So I would say people can probably smell it on me at least about 4 to 5 feet away. The longevity on this is probably about 7 or 8 hours, and I feel like it really doesn't turn into a skin scent until around the 5 to 6 hour mark. Now when it comes to price, it's gonna get a little bit tricky here because Atelier Cologne's is not readily sold in the US anymore and a lot of other countries. However, it is still available and it's actually been like all over the gray market sites. So if you're comfortable shopping with them, you can find this 100 ml bottle probably anywhere from like $60 to $100. If you live in another country that this is still available at retail, then I'm not sure what your price would be, but you can go check it out. Malibu Party in the Bay 100 ml bottle retails for $189. So, do you need this, that, or both? I will say that for me, I'm happy I have both, okay? I love both of these. I feel like they kind of work for different occasions because Pacific Lime to me is more of an everyday type scent, an easy spray on and go. Whereas I feel like this is the stepped up version of Pacific Lime. Like this is the one that I would wear like going out to a day party or something. So for me, I would say both. For you, I would say that if you're not a lime lover and you just want to kind of get one of these scents, I would go for Party in the Bay because to me, it's just more striking. I just love it. I think I love it more, but I love both of them. I'll be keeping both of them, but you don't necessarily have to have both unless you're a true lime lover like myself. So those are all the fragrances I wanted to talk with you about today. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love doing these types of videos. They are a little bit more work than just doing a top 10 list, but I do feel like they're really helpful. So if you enjoyed it, please make sure you thumbs up this video, share it on Instagram, share it to your friends, text them, I don't know. Show me some love if you enjoyed this video and subscribe if you're not already. Also, if you haven't checked out my website yet, go ahead and check it out. It's www.simplyaisha.com. Over there, I talk about all types of things, including fragrance. Also, if you want to connect with me more, follow me on Instagram. I'm typically in my stories almost every day, and I love to chat with you all my DMs. And I recently just got a Threads account, so I don't even know how to tell y'all to follow me there. But if you go to my Instagram, I'm sure you can find me on Threads as well. I hope you all enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.